All right, new data to look at as we head into meteorological winter, which will be in December. This is a look at the European probability of seeing more than 1 inch of snow. This was yesterday's run. This is today. Okay, it looks small, but what we're noticing is a shift from here to here. So it's a little bit further to the south. It doesn't mean we're going to put snowstorms here into North Texas, Arkansas, or Tennessee, but clearly we've seen that shift happen over the last 24 hours. And I think that's an idea that the European is starting to sniff out. It's the cold that's coming. European AI, the ensemble guidance, the GFS, they're all showing the strat warm here across the North Pole, just north of Alaska. This right here, guys, is going to cause the Arctic plunge, if you will, across a lot of the country. One shot comes, I think, right at Thanksgiving. Another one as we head into December. And along that boundary, wherever it sets up, I'm telling you, I see snowstorms. This is something we've not seen into December in quite a while. And if you look at this, you'll almost see a secondary strat warm start to take shape. You've got those winds reversed here. To me, this looks cold, and it looks like it could stay cold heading into December. I'm not going to tell you it's going to echo a certain year, but in some ways, it kind of feels like 2009, 2010 in some way, that era when you had constant cold air a little bit further to the south with just storm patterns setting up with a trough digging in. It's on the table. All right. Let's look at our temperature departures because this is where you're going to start to feel it. First of all, this is where we're at right now. It is cold in the Northeast. There's some snow falling tonight into the highlands here into Pennsylvania. We're talking about into the Poconos, maybe even into parts of northern New Jersey, north of New York City. Cold enough that there could be some snow here, and it might accumulate. The NAM is trying to show some decent snow, a couple of inches anyway. Right? It's getting a little beefier, and it's also cold across the Southwest otherwise. So warm across Texas, so warm across parts of Canada. This is going to continue. In fact, we'll see this warmth expand east. It's going to be a blowtorch heading into Thanksgiving. That hasn't changed. That's been the same now for the last several weeks. I see nothing going on here. Another shot of some cold air, though, as we head into the weekend here into the Northeast. So temperatures will be near or just below average, but warm again across the South. Texas, I get comments from you guys all the time. I'm sorry. You're ready for some cooler weather. It's not coming as we head into the weekend, into next week. The cold is building, though, my friends, and you'll start to see it heading into next week. I think first across the Pacific Northwest with some colder air digging into the northern Rockies. With this will come some snow, and now we're starting to push some really cold air all the way down with below average temperatures in this region, right? So now you're getting cold across the Central Plains. Further south as this front pushes all the way to the coast. Along this, are we going to see some type of low pressure develop with a chance for some snow around Thanksgiving? I think we watch it. Don't turn your back on this time period. And then as this moves out, we are reloading the cold. This second wave of cold is going to be the chilliest that we've seen, or at least I think we've seen so far this year. And I was talking about this last night, the potential for this push to push right down the face of the Rockies into Texas. I think that risk is growing, and this would be 20, 25 degrees, maybe 30 degrees below average, a big chill. And now look, are you going to get some kind of huge snowstorm on the east side of wherever this trough sets up? Either way, it looks really cold. The operational run's picking up on it. The weeklies have been advertising this cold for quite some time, still showing up as we head into December across the west first, across the central U.S., and then it swings into the east. And this right here, guys, someone had told me, oh, it's just northwest flow. Well, looks pretty cold to me. And then I think as you transition to that northwest flow, that's when you could see your snowstorms develop. North Atlantic Oscillation, slightly negative. To me, this looks like more of a central northern U.S. snowstorm type pattern. We'll see. We're looking long range, though. This is a look at the European weeklies. This has not changed since yesterday. It starts with the snow in the west. Again, don't get hung up on the totals. I'm looking at where they're concentrating the snow. As we go through the date above my head, it's moving east, right? Very similar to what we were seeing on the long-range guidance there. So more snow, I think, on the way this year compared to last year, heading into December for many of you. This sounds interesting. Subscribe. Come back. It helps the channel. Thousands of you have subscribed over the last couple of weeks. We're closing in on 40,000 subscribers, so thank you guys for checking the channel out. And if you're on the live stream, thanks for watching tonight. If you're just joining, you can take it back from the beginning. If you missed these streams, you can watch them anytime at your will. All right, here's where we are right now. We're going to take you into Wednesday. We've got some showers. Again, I'm going to back this up. This rain and snow mix here in the northern PA, moving out to sea. Some thunderstorms across the Tennessee Valley settling down, and we'll watch Texas tomorrow for some severe storms. The Storm Prediction Center is already eyeing this area, Dallas-Fort Worth, the Red River Valley, down into southern Texas for some strong thunderstorms. We'll continue to push this out in time as we head into Wednesday. I think you got to watch the active weather that's starting to develop here just to the south of Alaska. These impulses are likely going to start to slide south. It's going to get cold too. I don't talk about Alaska a lot, but it's going to get cold all the way down to sea level. So even at Anchorage, we're going to start to see some snow here. Look at the cyclonic flow around that cold pool of air just spinning. This is setting the stage, guys, for what's going to move south as we head into the upcoming weeks. Rain moving back into the mid-south, also across the deep south as we head into the weekend. And then it's going to be a little wet, too, I think, to start across the Carolinas heading into Saturday morning. That pushes to the east. Cold air into the northeast as well. We get another reinforcing shot of that heading into Friday, into Saturday, maybe a few snow showers here. And then it gets relatively quiet. Across southern Canada, we're still cold here. No big warm-up for you guys. The cold air is starting to get entrenched for the season, if you will. I'm sure you'll have some warm-ups here and there, but kind of cold for now. More showers moving back into Texas to start next week out. Now we're getting kind of far out in time, right? I start to look at this and go, all right, put your guard up. Let's go shopping, as I say on the channel. We're not digging into it just quite yet. But look what's happening here across central Canada. Just to the east of Calgary, you're starting to develop a low pressure. That makes sense, right? As these lows move out of the prairies, you stretch that parcel of air. As that happens, you start to spin up surface low pressure, and we can get some snow. Does this put the snow into Edmonton? Maybe so. This could be a decent swath of snow moving east ahead of this cold air that's dropping to the south. Now we're getting into Wednesday, the 26th, the big day right before Thanksgiving. A huge travel day. Looks a little wet at this point across the east. At least it's not snowing if you've got to get out and do some travel. No big blizzard or anything like that expected. But let me tell you something. This is interesting as this drops south. This is the European from today. So I tell you, it's not going to snow on Thanksgiving, but look what it's doing. Putting that cold air into Colorado, trying to push snow all the way down into North Texas. That's the cold pushing all the way to the Gulf Coast. And now on the east side of this, will some type of low pressure be able to spin up? I don't know. Now you're watching for more energy. And I want to back this up. So we're talking about energy that was across Alaska, right? I told you how it's going to start to dive south. Multiple waves of it. Here's one, here's another, here's another. Actually, it's probably more up into this region. But that dives south. The European sniffs something here and says, this might be an interesting look as we head toward the 29th and 30th. Just shopping this time period. I don't think you nail this down and go, how much is it going to snow in Columbus on this map? Well, I mean, this is just one operational run. Again, I started off this video with the European Ensemble Guidance, which uses more than 50 members. And you saw where that snow is. It was further to the south. And I think it's because it's picking up on this right here, this feature. And then the cold that pushes behind this. Again, we're looking at this getting carved out. A little bit warmer, actually, across Alaska as we see that cold drop into central Canada, eastern Canada, central and eastern United States, warmer across the west. Okay, at this point, we start to move the cold out of the west into the east, and it really, guys, it's not going to get west of the mountains here. It's going to be into the Rockies and east. That's where the coldest air is going to be with, I think, this wave and the one after it. So there goes one potential storm, and then you turn cold. Are we looking at Clipper systems at this point? Do we get a little bit of a rebound? Maybe so, but I think even this particular run is picking up on the next reload of cold air that's going to move south. It's just such a charged pattern right now, guys. Very, very intriguing and interesting to me. There's the snow totals showing up on the European tonight, by the way, here in the PA. Not a lot, but still interesting to see. This is the GFS. Let's run this out, by the way, if you want to look at fantasy storms. Everything looks pretty close to the same until we head into next week. A lot of different look here, right? So here we go into Wednesday. There's that rain moving through the south. There comes the cold pushing down the face of the Rockies. These two models are lining up almost at this point. Now we're starting to push this out even further. Cold pushing south. What you don't see, where's your snow back here, right? So don't get caught up in the snow that the European is showing just yet. I mean, we're talking about over a week away. I'm more interested, can we get cold first and can the pattern turn cold? Well, there's one shot. And look, this one's reloading for the next round that the European's picking up on. And bang, this one looks interesting. This looks further south. The European also says we could be entering a pretty supercharged period here with storms. As these pieces of energy swing through the jet, they get caught up in this huge temperature difference and big snowstorms. I think it's coming, guys. Let's look closer where the snow is going to be and where it's not over the next couple of days. We do this every day on the channel too, so subscribe if you like these daily weather updates. When it's not quite so interesting looking long range, we do talk about where it's going to snow, and we've got it moving here into the Cascades, Heading into Thursday, also some rain, some colder air aloft here moving in. So those snow levels will start to drop, and we've got rain and snow. It might rain in Phoenix as we head through the week. Some snow into the higher elevations. And as this cold air drops into the southwest, we'll start to see those snow levels, even in Southern California, start to drop some. And then we get relatively quiet the further north you go across the Pacific Northwest, outside of British Columbia, where that onshore flow continues. And then we start to see this kick off to the east with more rain and snow into the Four Corners states, eventually moving out into the plains, and it stays snowy across British Columbia and parts of Alberta. Here's the snow totals. Look at this, quite a bit here into the mountains. Several feet possible into parts of British Columbia, a foot or more into the highest elevations of the Four Corners of the Southwest here, into the Wasatch, the Rockies, down into parts of northern Arizona, parts of New Mexico. Let's go east. Let's look at the temperatures here first. There's a look at your temperatures heading into Wednesday. There's a look at your highs on Thursday. So a little bit colder, especially across the Pacific Northwest. But look, I'm going to really roll this out in time. I mean, look at the difference we're going to see, I think, as we head toward the end of the month. Some really cold air working down on the east side of the mountains. That's below 0 Fahrenheit now, moving into the prairies, into parts of North Dakota, being picked up on the European. Further to the east we go. The storms across Texas is what we're going to have to watch heading into Wednesday. Some of those could get on the strong and severe side. And the rain lifts north into Missouri, also across the Mid-South as we head through the day. So look at that severe weather risk again tomorrow. That would be Wednesday if you're watching this on Wednesday. Many of you come back and watch it the next day. Here's a look at your temperatures as we head into tonight, into Wednesday afternoon. Another warm one up into the Dakotas, at least South Dakota, back into the 60s. Those temperatures get knocked back a little bit, back into the 40s, but we stay warm across Texas for the next couple of days. We're still talking about 70s, even once this front passes through. And then temperatures around the Great Lakes, relatively cool here. We're not going to see a huge warm-up anytime soon. Here comes that system skipping through the northeast right now, and really the mid-Atlantic, with some of that snow falling late tonight here into northern PA. We've had some thunder as far south as Virginia, down into Tennessee and West Virginia. That all pushes offshore, and then we quiet down with high pressure building into the northeast for Thursday. Rain picks up again across West Virginia, Tennessee, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, back into Missouri, Mississippi, Tennessee. It's on the way as we head into Friday. Cold enough there could be some snow mixing in further to the north. And then otherwise, I mean, you've got almost zonal flow here, so it's not going to get real cold. That's on the way. Cold, though, north of this. By the way, it's not, I mean, it's been a chilly day into the northeast. This was today. Heading into tonight, there's your lows. Look how bitter cold it's going to get into the northeast. I had to do a double take here. And yeah, we're talking about teens and single digits into parts of New England here, into the Green and White Mountains. Good snowmaking weather for the ski resorts. Highs tomorrow, barely getting out of the 40s into the northeast. Go south, Charlotte, nice, mid-70s here. Back to Nashville, 80s. Maybe Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Starkville, down all the way to the coast. Really warm here, also into Florida. And then that cold air moves into the northeast too. Two worlds here, single digits. And then you got lows down here. I mean, of course, it's the south, but just such a sharp contrast. You can see how that seasonal change is clearly taking shape, but we're going to stay warm across the south, at least through Thursday. All right, more to come. If you made it this far in the video, hope that means you enjoyed it. Hope you'll come back and subscribe and watch these videos as they come out.